Welcome to Relaxing Facts Studio, where science becomes a calm journey through the hidden wonders of our world. Tonight, we're exploring a story that unfolds beneath our feet and across vast oceans, a story of Earth's unseen engineers. From microscopic life quietly shaping the soil, to mighty animals transforming entire landscapes, nature is constantly building, balancing, and sustaining the planet in ways most of us never notice. This is not just a world we live in, it is a world being designed every moment by life itself. So take a deep breath, settle in, and let's begin this fascinating voyage from microbes to megafauna. 4 billion years ago, long before forests, dinosaurs, or even fish, Earth was already being engineered by life too small to see. Microbes were the planet's first builders, transforming a harsh, rocky world into a place where complex life could eventually thrive. Early microbial communities shaped Earth's oceans and atmosphere through powerful chemical reactions. One of the most important breakthroughs came from ancient cyanobacteria, which began producing oxygen through photosynthesis. Over time, this slow but steady process changed the entire sky, creating the oxygen-rich atmosphere that makes human life possible today. Even now, microbes act as invisible chemical engines running Earth's essential cycles. They move carbon, nitrogen, and sulfur through ecosystems, keeping soil fertile, oceans productive, and the air balanced. Without microbial activity, nutrients would stop flowing and life's support systems would collapse. Microbes also form the hidden foundation of every food chain. Plants depend on bacteria and fungi around their roots to access nutrients. Animals rely on plants, and predators rely on animals, meaning the entire web of life traces back to microscopic workers underground and in the water. In modern environmental science, microbes are recognized as key players in climate regulation, sustainable agriculture, and ecosystem stability. They are not just germs or background organisms, they are Earth's oldest and most essential engineers. The next time you breathe fresh air or see a green landscape, remember, the planet is still being quietly built by the smallest life forms on Earth. Beneath every farm, forest, and backyard garden lies a hidden world more active than any city above ground. Soil is not just dirt, it is a living system built and maintained by billions of bacteria and fungi working non-stop. The soil microbiome is a powerful community of microscopic life that turns raw minerals into fertile farmland. These microbes break down organic matter, release nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus, and help plants grow stronger without relying entirely on synthetic inputs. Modern sustainable agriculture increasingly focuses on protecting this invisible workforce because healthy soil means healthier harvests. One of the most fascinating builders underground is fungi. Their thread-like networks called mycelium spread through soil like natural highways, connecting plant roots and transporting water and nutrients across surprising distances. Scientists sometimes call this the wood wide web because it allows plants to share resources through fungal partnerships. Living soil also plays a major role in fighting desertification. Microbes and fungi improve soil structure, helping it hold moisture instead of drying out and blowing away. This water retention is critical in a changing climate, especially for regions facing drought and land degradation. Soil health is directly linked to global food security and long-term sustainability. When soil ecosystems collapse, crop yields decline, farmland becomes less productive, and communities face greater environmental and economic pressure. That is why regenerative farming practices like cover crops and reduced tilling are gaining attention in the US and worldwide. Every meal begins with soil, and every healthy landscape depends on these unseen engineers. Protecting the ground beneath our feet is not just an environmental issue, it is an investment in the future of agriculture, clean water, and a stable planet.
Out in the open ocean, far beyond what the eye can see, Earth's most important life support system is constantly at work. Floating near the surface are trillions of tiny organisms called plankton, microscopic builders that help keep the entire planet breathing. Plankton are one of the primary sources of Earth's oxygen. Through photosynthesis, phytoplankton release massive amounts of oxygen into the atmosphere, meaning a significant portion of every breath you take can be traced back to these invisible ocean drifters. They are as essential as forests, yet far less recognized. These tiny organisms also form the foundation of marine ecosystems. From small fish to whales, nearly all ocean life depends on plankton, either directly or indirectly. Without plankton, marine food chains would collapse, affecting fisheries, biodiversity, and coastal economies worldwide. Plankton play another critical role in climate regulation through a process scientists call the biological pump. As plankton grow, they absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. When they die, some sink into deep ocean layers, storing carbon for centuries. This natural carbon sequestration helps slow the buildup of greenhouse gases and supports long-term climate balance. Even ocean currents and global weather patterns are influenced by plankton activity. Their presence affects how sunlight is absorbed at the surface and how heat moves through marine systems, connecting microscopic life to planetary-scale processes. In environmental science and climate research, plankton are now considered key indicators of ocean health and global stability. Protecting marine ecosystems means protecting these hidden builders, because the smallest organisms in the sea quietly help regulate oxygen, food supply, and Earth's climate future.
In every forest, wetland, and backyard ecosystem, nature runs a recycling system so efficient that nothing valuable is ever truly wasted. The key workers are decomposers, fungi and bacteria that quietly break down dead material and turn it into new life. Decomposition is not the end of nature's story, it is renewal. When leaves fall, trees die, or organic matter collects on the ground, decomposers begin a vital process that keeps ecosystems healthy and productive. Without them, Earth would be buried under endless layers of undecomposed material. Fungi are some of the most powerful decomposers on the planet. Their underground networks release enzymes capable of breaking down tough wood, bark, and plant fibers that most organisms cannot digest. Bacteria work alongside them, reducing organic matter into simpler nutrients that can return to the soil. This natural recycling prevents waste buildup in forests and wetlands. Imagine if fallen trees never decayed or plant debris never disappeared. Nutrients would become locked away and ecosystems would eventually stop functioning. Decomposers keep environments clean, balanced, and ready for new growth. Even more importantly, decomposers return essential elements like nitrogen, carbon, and phosphorus back into the ground. These nutrients become the starting point for new plants, healthier soil, and stronger food chains. In sustainable agriculture, understanding decomposition helps farmers improve soil fertility naturally and reduce reliance on excessive chemical inputs. Decomposers may be invisible, but their impact is everywhere, from fertile farmland to thriving forests. They are Earth's cleanup crew, nutrient managers, and life cycle engineers, proving that in nature, even decay is part of a powerful system of renewal. Across farms, wildflower meadows, and even suburban gardens, some of the most important ecosystem workers are only inches long. Pollinators and insects may seem small, but they hold together the natural systems that support food, biodiversity, and agriculture. Pollination is one of the most valuable services in nature. Bees, butterflies, moths, and other insects transfer pollen between flowers, allowing plants to produce fruits, seeds, and new generations. Many of the foods found in American grocery stores, apples, berries, almonds, and squash, depend directly on insect pollination. Beyond crops, insects support biodiversity in forests and grasslands by helping wild plants reproduce. Healthy pollinator populations mean stronger ecosystems, more diverse habitats, and better resilience against environmental change. Gardens filled with flowering plants are not just beautiful, they can become small conservation spaces for local species. Insects are also essential links in food chains. Birds, frogs, reptiles, and small mammals rely on insects as a primary food source, especially during breeding seasons. When insect populations decline, entire ecosystems feel the impact, from fewer songbirds to disrupted natural balance. The economic and agricultural value of pollinators in the United States is enormous. Pollination contributes billions of dollars each year to crop production, supporting farmers, food supply stability, and rural economies. That is why pollinator-friendly practices, like planting native flowers and reducing harmful pesticide exposure, are becoming key topics in sustainable farming and environmental policy. Insects may be easy to overlook, but they are ecological infrastructure. Protecting pollinators means protecting food security, healthy landscapes, and the living systems that keep nature thriving.
In nature, some species do more than survive in their habitats. They actively build them. Ecosystem architects like beavers and coral reefs create natural infrastructure that supports thousands of other forms of life, shaping landscapes in ways that rival human engineering. Beavers are one of the clearest examples of wildlife environmental engineers. By building dams across streams, they slow water flow and create wetlands. These wetlands become rich habitats for fish, amphibians, birds, and countless plant species. Beaver activity also improves water storage, reduces erosion, and can even help protect areas from drought by keeping landscapes hydrated. In the ocean, coral reefs serve a similar role on an even larger scale. Often called underwater cities, Coral reefs provide shelter, food, and breeding grounds for tens of thousands of marine species. Although reefs cover only a small fraction of the seafloor, they support an extraordinary portion of ocean biodiversity. Natural construction, like dams and reefs, also protect coastlines and waterways. Coral reefs act as living barriers that reduce wave energy, helping defend shorelines from storms and erosion. Wetlands created by beavers filter water naturally, trapping sediments and improving water quality downstream. These ecosystem architects do not just create habitats, they build full support systems for life. Their structures influence nutrient cycles, biodiversity, and long-term ecosystem stability. In conservation and climate resilience research, protecting these species is seen as an investment in nature-based solutions. Beavers and corals remind us that the planet is shaped by living builders. When these architects thrive, entire ecosystems benefit, showing how biodiversity is not just about species survival, but about maintaining the environmental infrastructure that keeps Earth healthy and balanced.
Some animals shape the natural world far beyond what their population size would suggest. These are called keystone species, organisms whose presence hold entire ecosystems together, much like a keystone in an arch supports the whole structure. A keystone species is defined not by how common it is, but by how powerful its ecological impact can be. When these species thrive, ecosystems stay balanced. When they disappear, landscapes can rapidly change in unexpected ways. Predators are some of the most famous keystone species. Wolves, for example, help regulate deer and elk populations, preventing overgrazing and allowing forests and riverbanks to recover. Herbivores can also be keystone species, shaping plant communities through grazing patterns that influence which species dominate a grassland. Keystone effects exist across the planet. In forests, certain predators maintain healthy prey populations and protect vegetation. In oceans, sea otters control sea urchins, allowing kelp forests to flourish. In grasslands, large grazers can promote biodiversity by preventing a single plant species from taking over. The disappearance of one keystone species can trigger a chain reaction known as a trophic cascade. Without the regulating influence of that species, ecosystems may lose diversity, become less stable, and provide fewer services such as clean water, fertile soil, or healthy fisheries. Modern conservation science places strong emphasis on protecting keystone species because their survival supports countless others. They are natural managers of biodiversity and ecosystem resilience. Keystone species remind us that nature is deeply interconnected. Sometimes the most important animals are not the largest or most visible, but the ones quietly holding entire landscapes in balance.
Across forests, savannas, and grasslands, the largest animals on Earth are doing far more than simply roaming. They are actively designing entire ecosystems. These giants, known as Megafauna, shape landscapes in ways that influence biodiversity, climate balance, and long-term environmental stability. Elephants are often called ecosystem engineers because of how they reshape forests and open woodlands. By knocking down trees, clearing pathways, and digging for water, they create habitats for smaller species and maintain a healthy mix of vegetation. Their movements can transform dense forest into diverse savanna, supporting more plant and animal life. Wolves, though smaller than elephants, have an equally powerful ecological role. As top predators, they regulate herbivore populations, preventing overgrazing and allowing forests, grasslands, and river ecosystems to recover naturally. This balance supports healthier plant growth and stronger food webs. One of the most fascinating contributions of megafauna is seed dispersal. Large animals carry seeds over vast distances through their diets and migrations, helping forests regenerate and increasing plant diversity. Without these natural seed transporters, many ecosystems would become less resilient over time. Megafauna also influence carbon cycles and climate regulation. Healthy forests and grasslands store significant amounts of carbon, and the actions of large animals help maintain these landscapes. Their role in shaping vegetation directly affects how much carbon is captured and stored in natural systems. Protecting megafauna is not only about saving iconic wildlife, it is about preserving ecosystem stability worldwide. These animals are living infrastructure, supporting biodiversity, climate resilience, and the long-term health of the planet we all depend on.
From the tiniest microbe in the soil to the largest elephant roaming the savanna, life on Earth is connected through an invisible web of engineers working together to keep the planet stable. Every ecosystem, every forest, every ocean relies on this intricate network of life, where each species, no matter how small or large, plays a critical role in maintaining balance. Microbes recycle nutrients, enrich soil, and regulate the atmosphere. Insects and pollinators ensure plants reproduce and entire food chains survive. Ocean plankton produce oxygen and manage carbon cycles, while megafauna reshape landscapes, disperse seeds, and maintain habitat diversity. Together, they form a living system where soil, water, air, and climate are constantly balanced through natural processes. The interconnections between these engineers are astonishing. Healthy soil supports plants that feed herbivores. Pollinators enable crops and wildflowers to thrive. Large animals influence forests and grasslands, affecting carbon storage and water cycles. And ocean ecosystems depend on microscopic plankton to sustain life above and below the waves. Disrupting any part of this network can trigger cascading effects, showing just how fragile yet resilient Earth truly is. Nature itself serves as a blueprint for long-term sustainability. Observing these interactions reveal lessons humans can use for agriculture, climate adaptation, and conservation. Protecting biodiversity is not just about saving species, it's about safeguarding the systems that provide oxygen, clean water, fertile soil, and a stable climate. Every organism, from bacteria to blue whales, contributes to this planetary infrastructure. Understanding and protecting these natural engineers ensures that life on Earth remains vibrant, resilient, and capable of thriving for generations to come. Biodiversity is the foundation of a healthy, living planet, and its preservation secures the future for all life.
Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through the hidden engineers of our planet. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button to stay connected and explore more fascinating stories with Relaxing Facts Studio. If this video inspired you, please give it a like. It helps us reach more curious minds. Share it on your social media to spread the wonder, and leave a comment to let us know your thoughts, discoveries, or favorite moments from the video. Your support fuels the channel, helps us grow, and ensures we can continue bringing amazing, safe, and inspiring content to you every week.